So, guys, it's David here. Now, I don't know what day it is today, but I am having a wonderful day, right? To matter of fact, today was so great that I had just had a wank a few minutes ago. Yes, it may have been counterproductive. Yes, that perhaps was one of the not wisest choice I have made today, but I don't care. I simply just do not care anymore because I understood one simple concept that if you choose to stay disciplined, if you just choose to commit, then anything is possible, guys. And really, the only thing stopping you from achieving your goals and dreams and biggest aspirations in life is your just overcomplicating things. You just overcomplicate the simplicity of discipline. And that simply is if you say something, you better goddamn do it. Because if you don't, you are gonna make yourself depressed. You are literally gonna make yourself depressed, guys. Because for so many times that I have backed down on my word, for so many times that I said I was gonna do something and I'll delay it and delay it and delay it, that just erodes my self-confidence. But for the past few days, guys, ever since I have showed up despite me not feeling like I want to, but I'm showing up simply because I said I was gonna show up, that feeling transcended into a life changing transformation in how I feel, how I view myself, and my confidence has elevated because of that. Right? Not confidence in the way I approach women, not confidence in the way, for say, of my belief that I am the best at what I do, but rather the confidence that I can believe myself, that I can trust myself, right? This level of confidence in self-love. That there's no reason for me to hate myself. There's no reason for me to cry and regret about something like wanking after I do it. Because it is really not a big deal, guys. And we have to understand this when you start to just trust yourself. You have to befriend yourself, guys, in your own journey. Because remember, you are doing this for yourself. And if you just hate yourself, if you hate yourself to the guts, then how do you think you will last? How do you think you will last when this journey of growth or entrepreneurship, whatever it is you're trying to walk, is a lonely path already? And if nobody understands you, and yet you do not understand yourself, you do not understand why you're so lazy and so unambitious when you have these big aspirations and dream, then you are gonna literally just torture yourself, guys. And I'm saying this from experience. You have to keep your word. You have to own your word. So when you say something, do it. And just stop with the excuses, first of all, because I don't want to hear no more excuses. Right? I used to say so much excuses saying that, maybe I am too hungry. That maybe I need to bulk up. Maybe when I'm in a calorie surplus, when I have this excess energy, I will create. And that's when I said it. That's my excuse when I was on a cut. And I was not doing anything. I was lazy. I was unambitious. But now I am on an extreme cut. I am losing weight rapidly, perhaps one of the most extreme cut I am on. And yet, despite me feeling tired, despite me feeling, oh so lazy and just want to do the most easiest thing there is when I come back home, I kept to my word. I kept to my word and showed up no matter how I felt. Because I showed up for myself. I showed up for the fact of my word. And that was an enough reason for me to just act, guys. And really, that should be enough for you to act. And if you don't care about yourself, if you totally hate yourself, then perhaps start with some self-love, start with some self-appreciation, and maybe even some positive affirmation for the God's sake. If you have to start that way, then start that way. Because you have to, if you want to sustain in this journey, guys, you have to love yourself. You simply have to love yourself. Because if you don't, then you will lose this battle. If not, you're going to make this battle a living hell. You're going to have days where you are ambitious and motivated, and then you have days when you pull back and you feel lazy and feel depressed. It'll be a yo-yo cycle. And you don't want to live that life, guys, because from someone who has, that is a horrible life. It's a very, very horrible life. And to the other people, to your friends, to some stranger at work, you may come off as bipolar. That's how extreme it is to have these mood swings because you are so lost in your own self-identity. Not even that. You're not even lost in your self-identity. You're just lost with who you are. You don't even know who you are anymore. And that is a very scary and depressing feeling, guys. But one thing, and the only antidote, is to just trust yourself, right? Believe yourself, even if you don't feel like it. Because feeling, remember, is, at most cases, a byproduct of your action. So if you're feeling tired, do something that will make you feel more energized, right? That means drink coffee, right? Do whatever it is that is going to make you more energized. But obviously, weigh the pros and cons. You don't want to, take stimulants and say, I'm going to be hyper-focused when you're going to have a come down for a few hours or a few days even. That is a very horrible idea. And you just have to understand, if the thing I'm doing today, right, if I am going to find certain things to consume or to perhaps elevate my performance, then I have to think long term. If I am chasing a temporary win for the sake of ruining up my health and longevity for the long run, then is it really worth it? And if it's not, then don't do it, guys, because that is plain stupid. Because there's so many other ways to generate energy. There's so many other ways to generate this feel-good chemical of dopamine. And that really comes down to just staying with your word, right? Being positive and believing yourself. And over time, your actions will transfer into feeling. It may not come right away, but I promise you, if you don't give up and you actually love yourself and you do the things every single day for yourself, then you eventually will feel that little spark, this little tingling sensation. But with that being said, I hope you guys had learned something from this today. But if not, like always, I'll be here for you guys tomorrow. But until then, good night.